Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Picnic Table Chat Show. This is episode 9 of season 3, and tonight I've got with me an amazing guest. As always, we have amazing guests, but tonight we have a particularly amazing guest. We have Ants Holleufer. So welcome in on Ants Holleufer. Hello, buddy. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Thank you for coming on and gracing us with your presence.
It's been a while since I've been on the show now.
I've got an echo going on for some reason. 1 second.
Oh, I hope it's not me who causes it.
No, it's me having multiple doodads on the go. It's fine. It's sorted now. So we've had you on before, but there's lots of new viewers these days. So if you want to just introduce yourself a little bit, say who you are, when you started, and what really got you into ant keeping.
Yeah, I have a bit of a boring story. I got hooked by Ants Canada, so saw the big thing my ants are planning an escape back when it came out. I got hooked on Ants Canada, and that led me on to getting hooked on Ants Scandinavia, Ants Britannia, all of these YouTubers who pumped out content a few years ago. And I moved away from my parents in 2018, and that was when I got my first ant colony. Not that long after that, so I wasn't allowed to keep ants with my dad. So yeah.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. It could be like, I think parents quite often don't want their kids getting it. It's the old generation, isn't it? Like, I think a lot of people these days are more open to things, whereas the other generation, like our parents, definitely weren't so much into exotic pets.
Yeah, I would say in some of the most common questions I get on my Danish TikTok is definitely what should I tell my dad? What should I tell my parents?
Yeah.
There's not much you can say other than saying they don't escape. It's quite hard to say because they don't take up much time, and the biggest thing for kids is pretty much just having the patience to keep them. So that's almost the hardest thing.
Yeah, definitely. I like to say, like, the best thing to do when it comes to parents, I say, is show that you're researching and that you're really into it and you're going to do it properly. I think that's the best way. Like, that would convince me as a parent that my children are ready to do something like that.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
So since we last had you on, you've had a massive ant room upgrade. Now we can see the lights in the background. It looks absolutely fantastic. Do you want to just have a little talk through what you've done and how it's so amazing?
Yeah, well, it's quite hard to show on this camera because it really just it doesn't want to help with well, I can say so much that the colors in real life don't match up with the colors on the stream. I don't know what my camera is doing, but it's really just having an interesting view on the lights. But yeah, one of the problems with my old ant room was that I had my ants were in one side, then I had my desk, and then I had the studio, and everything just didn't match together. So when I got offered this open room area, my goal was just to make everything efficient. And I thought, I'm going to make a big DIY table and put Philips Hue on it. And that way I could get lights in the ceiling. You can see a little bit of a light up here. And everything just being able to be pressed on one Hue button, and everything will just get into the recording modes. So my goal was just to make everything a little bit more efficient. And I think it works quite well, and it also just looks cool.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing, quite honestly. It looks really good. Do you find that the lights affect the ants at all? Like, are they different in the different colored lights?
I'm gonna be completely honest. It's my second time actually having some really funky lights, and the first time was when I was on Ryan's stream. I don't really play a lot around with the lights. I should really try to make everything red and see what would go on. But I normally just have them on a normal light, and then I have them on video light and just normal light most of the time. So yeah.
So I'm just messing with the thing. I don't know why it's decided to do all of that. Right, there we go.
No worries.
Sorry about that. It's what technology's like. In fact, my technology is the worst technology going, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get my headset to work, but the other day it just ran out of power, and now I've connected it, and now it just doesn't work. So yeah, technology is not always nice.
No, it's not my friend. We'll say that. I'm going to try and swap cameras over in a minute to try and get rid of that lag and stuff, though, because I think I can work it out. So what ants do you currently have? Because you've got so many in the background, right?
Yeah. I mean,
what have you got going on?
Well, I have my big Mr. Barber's colony over there, and then I have four Venus setups, which is holding Nova Mesa Coccarelli, Camponotus ligniperta, Lasius feliginosus, and a species I just can't pronounce the name of, but the queen is dead. Then there's also a Tetrarium caspitum, Harpignathos venators, Camponotus herculinus, Myrmica ruba, Acromyrmex oxfinosus, Formica fusca, Camponotus ligniperta, Camponotus nicoporensis, Lasius niger, and the Ada mexicana, and Lasius flavus, and finally the Camponotus singularis.
Wow.
So quite a few now.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. Like.
Yeah.
I've just seen that you released a video that you've lost one. What queen did you lose?
First of all, I get a little echo right now. Not sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sort that out. I think I've.
I have my Camponotus ligniperta experiment. The experiment is based around the principle of three queens. Well, in the wild, it's been documented that you've dug up a colony with multiple queens, but as the queens never meet, they won't attack each other. So the goal of this experiment is to try to recreate that. So I have a Wakushi specialized Venus nest where the queens can't escape, but the workers can go around and feed the different queens, because the experiment basis is that the workers' scent doesn't matter. They don't care that they have multiple queens, but the queens care that they have a rival multiple queens. So basically the goal is just to see if it's real or not. And so far it's actually going a lot better than I expected myself. One queen died this year. She died right after hibernation, 2-3 weeks after hibernation. And before hibernation, she was a lot more aggressive towards the workers. So when the workers from the other colonies came into this queen to feed her, I saw she was quite aggressive sometimes, and sometimes she wasn't. And I think all in all, you haven't missed much antimatters. But all in all, I think that just made the queen be a little bit less fit during hibernation. And when we left hibernation, I think she was a bit underfed. I'm not too sure. That's my thought at least. But I also did record a video of the week she died. And looking at the footage, she does look very sick. Her antennae are curled, like they look wrong. The queen look wrong. Everything looks quite wrong. So she may just have been naturally sick. I'm not too sure. I'm looking over. Yeah, you can actually see a little bit. It's on the Venus rag over there. That's where the colony is located. But yeah, I think it's still a very interesting experiment. I think it is going very well. Especially now where we have 20 workers. All the workers are going between the one Venus test tube and the other, and they feed both queens. And it just seems like we have a 2-queen colony, just as the goal was to create. So on that behalf, I think it's going very well, and it's quite fun. You're gone at the moment, so I'm just gonna keep rambling a little bit, I guess. But the interesting thing is, one of my members, he has decided to recreate this experiment. So he talked with Wakushi. He got the same specialized Venus the Venus setup, and he also has 3 ligniperta queens. So it'll be interesting to see if his experiment goes the same way mine did. It's welcome back. I can't hear you. Yes, I can't hear you, but I don't know why. But it's really
now there we go.
Now we go. Welcome back.
I was there the whole time. I was just listening to you and giving you like the chance to talk.
Oh yeah, no worries.
So yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting to see if he has the same sort of results and it goes the same way.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not really sure if she died because she was sick or natural reasons, because she did lay a batch of eggs, and I did see the workers, they went in and stole the eggs. Every time a queen lays eggs, they steal it and put it in the middle tube, but they go out and feed the other queens. And now, around 1 year after the experiment started, the brood is starting to be located with both the 2 queens that are remaining. So from their side, the experiment is going really well, and they are starting to slowly be fed up, but not as much as last year yet.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that one goes all right. That kind of leads me on to another thing that I want to talk to you about, and that was your latest Niger experiment.
Yeah.
It all went badly, did it?
Well, depending on what you're asking, I have 2020 experiment and the 2021 experiment.
Right, I believe it was 2021. It was the multiple queen experiment.
Well, the multiple queens was the 2020 experiment. That actually went a bit too well, I'd say, because a lot of people thought, "Oh, I'm gonna recreate it," and my goal was to say to people, "Oh, you don't need to recreate this," and it went so it looked like the colony is virtually a year older than it should be, because they had those 3 queens in the beginning. But I did make a 2021 experiment with 16 different queens in dark and in light and in nest and in test tubes.
Yeah.
And that went horribly wrong. With out of the 16 queens, only 3 colonies getting workers. So that went horribly wrong. But to be honest, I captured all the queens within 5 meters of each other on the first nuptial day of the year. So it may just have been a poorly mated batch of queens. I'm not so sure, to be honest. Definitely wasn't too successful, at least.
It's worth doing that. I think these experiments are worth doing, because otherwise we don't know. We just don't know, do we? Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I feel like as long as there's kind of an ethic behind it, I feel like it's okay. With the Ligniperda experiment, the queens, I mean, I was able, if the queens were being attacked, I could simply disconnect the tubes straight away. But I saw that the workers actually wanted to go in and feed the queens, and the queens was just very aggressive towards the workers. I think my Discord chat is a little bit active. I don't know if it's on stream or not, but just let me know, because then I'll just close it down.
No, it's all right. I think everything's fine at the minute. I've swapped on to different technology very seamlessly, as you may have noticed. Like, no one saw that happening.
No. I did it. Very smooth.
Every episode we have issues, to be honest. I'm going to get it hardwired. I'm going to upgrade the cores, and it's one of those things. It will happen when it happens. If someone wants to donate me like everything to do it, and feel free, I'll get it done. Simple. So how to bring this up? I've got a random question from my daughter, right? My middle daughter, she loves ants. She's got Mesobarbara, she's got Lasius niger. She loves the ant show that you do, the one where you show off all the different channels and things like that. She really enjoys that. Are we looking towards getting another episode out at any point?
It's a little. I'm not so sure. I'm gonna be honest. I whenever I do a show, they always get the least views at all. People don't like them, and it's definitely the shows I put the most thoughts and time into making, and I also enjoy making them. But I think they're gonna be kind of a half-year thing. So I'm gonna make one every 6 months or so, because then people don't really get tired of them. But I think I really love doing them. They of course take a lot more work than my usual videos. And then just seeing the stats just being the worst possible stats, it's not that motivating. So on that behalf, I think I'm not too sure, because I really love doing them. So I think I'll just do them like every 6 months or so, and then makes them extra special. Because I do love the stats, but the stats doesn't control me. I feel like I want to do the shows also because originally they were meant to bring people together, and a little bit around my channel. I'm gonna be honest, it was focused, so I was be the host and I would get all of these people, and now it's a bit the other way around. So now I'm trying to push people out to see all of these. So these are the creators I watch. You should watch them as well. And I feel like it's something that the community needs a little bit. I mean, we have people like you who are now doing regular interviews with the community. Back when the show started, we didn't.
Yeah,
that's
no,
nice about them.
I just want to say I really enjoy those shows. I think the whole style, like the fun of it, and
Yeah.
it's really good, isn't it? It's just really enjoyable. I like those ones. I like all your content, but yeah, there's something about those.
Yeah, I feel like once a show is done, it's always and people are so happy in the comments and everybody's so happy and it's so amazing. Um, and they are great. But again, it's all it's also something that you shouldn't overdo because it is very very bad humor on the good side, but it can also be very tiring humor if I made it a regular thing. So I think
Yeah,
it's every 6 months or so. Um, and yeah,
yeah.
that'll be the plan at least for now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, people don't realize how much work goes into something like that behind the scenes before it comes out. That's like probably 30, 40, even 60 hours of sat there at the
Yeah.
editing studio, as well as recording. Yeah, it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's just I really hate going out to people and I would love to be on the show and then when I have to like okay can you do the video I'm a little bit it's I don't like really the second part of pushing on the show but then when I
yeah,
have all the footage I get the script done and I make everything and then it's all fun but that little part where you go out to get people and then you have to push them a little bit to get the things. I mean, I always get a deadline to say you have 1 month because then you can do pretty much everything, and
yeah,
yet all of the shows the deadline have been passed. But yeah, it's not something I really try to plan out saying that week. I mean, normally my videos are very scheduled, so I have the
yeah.
next 3 videos planned now, the next 3 weeks. But the Holleufer shows that's just kind of when I have all the videos, we'll put it in. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you do it separately. Do you have help to edit your videos and things?
No. I use. I don't know if you want to hear my daily routine because it's starting to be really really busy routine.
No,
Um,
go for it.
so when I come home from school, I come home and I'm with my fiance and I relax, and then I go in and start editing or doing my script or doing my recording or whatever part of the video I need to do. And then in the evening, that's where I make all my TikToks. I make Danish TikToks, English TikToks, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels. Although the YouTube Short, Instagram, and TikTok are all the same files. So record all of them in the evening, but it takes not long, but it just takes an annoying amount of time to edit them. So
Yeah.
in the morning, when I'm waiting to go to school or to work, I then sit and edit and publish all the videos. So that's why I'm spamming in the mornings for all Europeans.
Okay, yeah.
And then I go to school and then I come home and then it's all again start editing. And I think I use 2 hours on making YouTube the main channel a day, and then around 1.5 hours making TikToks and
Wow.
Reels. So I'm
Yeah.
using a bit too much time on YouTube and in ads at the moment.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. I mean, I've struggled to put out my regular videos lately just because I've got so much other things going on and whatnot with the show, and you know what it's like. So I'm still doing my chat show, but I haven't managed to put on any actual videos. Was that a bit of product placement advertising there?
Oh, sorry.
Just
Yeah.
like make sure the label's on show. You know how
Yeah.
it works.
I can't lie. Although I change between Pepsi and Coke every week, so no.
Yeah, I
No
don't
real
think you'll get the sponsorship saying that.
yeah.
So let's move on to what's turning out to be quite a big subject in the ant community. We're not going to go massively into it, and obviously everyone's going to be nice in the chat because otherwise they get booted. So what happened with your Mesa Barbarous?
Well. To say the story short, in last year, between the lid and the feet, it warped a little tiny bit, and the ants were able to squish their way out. Only the small miners. And back then, I reached out to High Tech Ants, and we agreed that the Outworld needed a few upgrades. So he glued the next versions, and he put some feet under the Outworld to make sure it
Right,
would be
yeah.
safe for the future products. and he offered me one. And at that time, just to be clear, I hate the Mesobarbaras because it takes forever to clean. They take so goddamn long. So the thought of me having to take all of the ants up and put them in a separate outworld, that's something I really enjoy. So back then, I thought, I'm gonna get a bigger outworld soon, and I'm gonna change everything a little bit. And that was when the ant room, this room, was pretty close to being a reality. So I thought, I'm not. I accepted the refund, and I lived with the tape, because the tape worked brilliant, and the ants couldn't escape. Now I then came in, and I think it's almost a month ago now. I then came in the ant room and saw ants were everywhere, and apparently the small mounts that keeps the acrylic and the floor together had cracked, and one of them had completely broken, and the ants were then rushing out of that hole. And that's where the big escape happened. I actually still have the outworld over here. I don't know what to do with it. I'm not a lot of people were like, why don't you throw the old outworld out? Simply because I'm not really meant to throw out old stuff. I have my original ant equipment from 2018 still. So I still have the outworld even though it's broken. So
Yeah. I'm much the same. I don't like throwing things out, even if they are, but I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people, it was very 50-50. People were like, oh, why didn't you change it when it broke? And don't you look out after your other products? And I'm going to be honest, I have a quite busy schedule and too busy at the moment. And I look for the ants. I take care of them. I don't go in and looking for signs of failures. And so, I'm just human.
It's one of those things. I mean, it can happen to anyone. You could get a tube disconnect, and it's simple as exactly the same thing. But to be honest, I don't particularly care about how it all happened. I want to know about what's happening, like the after effects of the escape. How are your colonies doing? Did the Mesobarbaras survive okay? Which colonies got damaged?
Well, the Mesobarbaras, they have a 5-nest system, and I can definitely see that the main focus was in they had 2 main nests, where the one of them is just filled to the brim, and the other was also filled to the brim. That one isn't at all filled now, so they lost a lot of workers, mainly due to the carpet down here, because the carpet had a 4 hours before I turned my eyes off. And the Herculinus, they got attacked as well, together with the Tetramorium caspitum, but both of those survived with only a few casualties in the Herculinus. But the big story is, of course, my natural formicarium over there. You can't see it. But it's my natural formicarium with the Camponotus singularis, because when I came home, when I came in the room, I just saw maybe 100, 200 ants inside. And, well, the singularis has 5 workers, I think.
Right, that's not good, yeah.
It's not good stats. However, since the whole problem has happened, I have seen 1 worker 4 times now. Is it the same worker? I don't know. Is it just a normal worker? I don't know. I won't be sure that the colony is doing well before I see 2 or 3 workers at once. But I've seen 1 worker 4 times now.
So there's definitely 1 worker. We know that.
Yeah. Is it 1 lucky worker, or is it well, the funny thing is, a lot of people were like, they may just not have been out, and if they weren't out, the Mesa maybe didn't notice them and they didn't go in. So I'm not so sure if they will survive or not, but I'll keep them home and I'll feed them, and
see how it goes.
I'll see what happens with them.
How did you go about getting the Mesobarbaras out of the natural formicarium? Did you have to dig it up? Were they digging it all, or were they fairly easy to get?
Well, I basically, the good thing is with the Singularis colony, Antic sent me these.
Nice, yeah.
So I basically just took a box and just took a worker in the box, a worker in the box, a worker in the box, and then I just continued like that for 30 minutes or something like that. And then I was starting to clean all of the surfaces, then I cleaned the carpet, then I looked in the formicarium, took all of the workers I started seeing, took all of the workers on the surfaces, took all of the workers on the carpets, looked in the formicarium, and just repeated that over and over and over again. So I just kept, I lost, I think I used maybe, I came in this room around 1 p.m. And I think I was in here for pretty much 6 or 7 hours in total that day.
Wow.
Of course, I did also record them while the escape happened, so that adds up to time. But I think I used around 4 hours just cleaning the ants, and then 2 hours talking with people, recording everything. And I'm not gonna lie, after I took out the vacuum cleaner to clean the carpet, it's a hard hit. I got really, it's so hard cleaning your ants out. I mean, I had at that point, I just felt so empty. I mean, I sat in the room and I just sat and I just turned off. I just sat, and every time I saw an ant, I went over and grabbed it and put it home, and I just sat. It's so emotionless. It was truly horrible.
Yeah, it's not a great experience. That's like worst nightmare for like 90% of people, you know. How did you fare? Because I saw you were getting bitten a few times. Was it bad?
It was incredibly bad. My fiance and me, we walked in. I walked in. I looked at the ants everywhere, and I quickly searched where are they coming out from. And I walked down and called on my fiance to come in. And she went in and she said, "Oh, there's a screw right there." And I said, "Oh yeah, that's the hole." So I went over to start putting tape on it, and she just screamed as she were getting bitten by messes all over the place. And she ran out, and I stood there, and they kept biting me. Now one Mesobarbarus isn't that annoying. It isn't that hard. But they were biting me in the armpits. They were biting me in the neck, in the face. They crawled into my pants. I took my shirt off to just be able to get them away. And I think my buddy Casper, he explained it pretty well, because he came in when I had to relocate the ants in the new outworld, and he got one major who crawled up in under his shirt and bit him, and he just screamed like "oof," and I was just like, yeah, that's one ant. So it definitely wasn't pleasant. I mean, it wasn't. I had small red marks all over my body the day after. Looked like small prickles. I think the
pinpricks.
So I had small marks all over my body, but it wasn't too bad. It was really. I just got so upset. I just got so angry, man. I was trying to save them, and they just bit me, and and they bit me. Oh.
You wipe it off, and you're like, "Oh no, I just killed another one."
The good thing about messes is they are very, very hard to kill, because I mean you can take them. I wouldn't recommend squishing them, but compared to something like a Lasius Niger, Nigers, they pretty much just die if you try to take them. They are very easy to squish, where Mesobarbarus, they can handle a whole lot. So on that behalf, I don't think many of them who were on me that I pushed away died, simply because they are hardy ants compared to other species.
No, that's fair. Would you say that's your most painful experience, or have you been bitten by something more painful?
I mean, I haven't been bitten by anything. I mean, both the leafcutter colonies, of course, bite me. So I think it's probably my most painful experience. I still haven't got stung by the Myrmicaruba or Harpegnathos venators. The Myrmicaruba, I don't believe they sting. I've stopped believing it. I've taken them. I just go in with my hands, just take the trash out. Sometimes I really try to irritate them to see if they actually do sting. But they just never sting me. So I've started believing they don't sting, at least my species. And I mean, both the leafcutters. I think on one leafcutter is definitely worse than a major of the Mesobarbarus. But the leafcutters haven't escaped yet. So they have escaped, but nothing too bad.
I like how you put the yet in there, and then like actually they have.
That's the thing. The old Wakushi pot, now they're both in use again, so I can't take it over here. But it has port for the humidity probe, so you can go in and measure inside. and
Right,
that's been scrapped for the new version because it's the new version is meant to be ambient heated and all kind of stuff. Anyway, Wakushi, I think maybe Rob J, he had some of the workers actually lift up this little probe and walk out of it. And of course, we had a little private chat with all the testers that, oh, okay, we should tape it up. We should put something in there. So I taped mine up and put some cotton in there. But apparently I forgot in the other pot. So just like with Rob J, I think maybe Hood, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. At least they made it. They got this little plug up. I mean, it's very small, but it's big for the ants.
Yeah.
And then they all escaped. And what they did was they went out and took all of that trash and put it on my floor and walked home again. So when I came home to their pot being completely nice and clean because they have completely emptied it from trash. And somehow they have found some rose petals around in my room. I don't know where they found them, but they were eating rose petals and I hadn't fed them that.
You had them stored somewhere and they found them before you did.
It was so funny because they had cleaned out their pot. They had apparently found some food. They weren't attacking the other colonies. It was and I closed off the seal and just put them home again. But it was so fun coming home and seeing that they have emptied their trash and just put it on the floor. I have a table right here, and you can see that they had walked about over the table, dropped the trash, and turned around because there were no ants on the floor, but all of the trash was on the floor. So they have walked out, dropped it out, and walked home again. But yeah, that's luckily something that can't happen with future products, as the port have been scrapped. So still a funny story. And Wakushi had something similar happen where they also just went out with that trash and looked for leaf when they escaped. The thing is they of course need an insanely high humidity, and in my room I have around 30% humidity, so it's way too dry for them to ever find anywhere to live. So they just store that trash out here and look for leaves. They will never move.
And then they go back. Yeah. See, it's quite interesting what you said about my Macaroubas, actually. I was just thinking about it. They're one of my most tame species. And when I say tame, like they get really used to you doing stuff with them. I can put my finger in and they won't even be bothered now. Like really tame compared to like the Polyrhacus dives, where if I just look at them the wrong way, they try and eat me. Like, you know what I mean? They've got that tame attitude about them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, compared to my Nova Mesa just storm out and they want to escape. And the Myrmicroruba, I mean, they just kind of stand out here. Oh, food, here we come. And then when I have to, I mean, the problem is they live on the tinfoil dish. So when I give them some food, they just almost lives in there. So when I take it out, 10 or 15 workers are in the carcass 2 or 3 days after. And they also put all of that dead inside the carcass so I can just take it out. But then I have like 10 workers walking above me and I just slowly get them home again. They don't sting me. They're just like, oh what's happened? Yeah.
So I find quite often Lasius nigers are nightmares for that. Like staying in the food when you try and take it out. So I have like little quarantine boxes. So I take the carcass out, stick it in a separate box, leave it there for a day or so, just to see if any are kind of hiding.
Yeah, I put it on the table, and then when I've emptied the box, I take it and put it on another table, and then I like poke it a little bit and see if anything happens. And then I do the same for all of my colonies. So I take the trash out, put it, and then I clean them out, and then I put it on the table over here, and then I let it stay here for like 5 minutes, and then I try to poke everything and see, are there anyone who comes out? Is there any action? Yeah. And then that's that chance gone if they decide they was sleeping. I don't know. I mean, usually there's around 1 or 2 workers walking around on this table, compared to when I take them out the first time, there's maybe 15. So not many who are losing their life, if there aren't any, at least.
We've got another.
Oh, you.
I just muted myself by pressing a button with my notepad. I apologize for that. I've got another question from my amazing daughter here, and it's regarding your Mesobarbarus colony. They're such a large colony, and they're really impressive. But have you found that you've grown to be a bit bored of them now they're at this large size?
it's
Because
definitely
it's kind
different.
of like the goal is to make a massive colony, isn't it? And once you've done that, does it become boring?
Well, to be honest, I don't know what my goal is with my ants. My goal is just for them to grow. I 100% agree. With the Mesobarbers, I don't have nearly the same relationship. I mean, they are fun to poke around with feeding them and then dropping sugar and making a smiley or something with sugar, because they just go crazy for it. But the thing is also it's Mesobarbers, and mine are really, really skittish. So whenever I take the lid off, they take all of the brood and relocate. I once tried seeing what will happen if I just take all of the lids off for an entire day, and half the colony moved into the outworld. There were just broods in all of the tubes. There were just the whole colony was just haywire.
Yeah.
Compared to with my Nikos, I can just take the lid off and look inside and see what's going on. So I definitely think the reason I've lost so much connection to them is just because I can't really look inside the nest without them completely going mental. But I agree. It's definitely a different story keeping a big colony compared to a small colony.
Yeah.
Just because you don't look at one worker, you look at 15 workers, where you look at one worker with smaller colonies.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought it was a really interesting question for her to bring up, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's say she's well switched on and she loves her ant stuff. So she like half of my questions come from her. She's amazing. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting because again, I wouldn't say I'm bored of my Polyrhacus dies, but now they're at that large stage, I definitely spend less time just watching, like you say, an individual worker than say my smaller colonies. And it's got that, I suppose it's like a small village compared to a large town. It isn't so personal, is it? You know everyone in the village. It's that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah,
you know all your individual workers when you've only got 5 or 10.
Yeah, the thing is, just when they're
yeah.
feeding, you look at one worker sitting and biting or doing something. But when you have a big colony, you look at the one, and then you look at the other, and then the other, and then you get tired because you're just looking at workers compared to you don't really get the same you're seeing one worker just biting and
Yeah.
being an ant. So yeah, I agree. It's definitely it's weird. To be honest, I don't know what my goal with my colonies are. I just like seeing them be different. I just I like. I mean, I love my flowers. For some reason, they're just on close to the top of the list, and they're so boring. There's nothing to them. There's just something special with them. I don't know. My goal isn't on the same level to get a massive. I mean, my goal is to get a massive otter colony and just make crazy stuff with them. But generally, I don't know what my goal is. I just like keeping ants, I guess.
No, that's fair. I mean, same as me. I don't really have a goal when it comes to keeping the ants. I just like to see them doing well, and I just enjoy having them, I suppose. I think with like the diacama, where they don't really get much larger than 100, couple of hundred, you know, I think it works well for me because I know they've done really well. They've kind of reached that peak capacity. I can keep them there. But I've still got that connection because there's not masses of workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good kind of medium with them.
Yeah, I agree with. I definitely already now feel my Nikos. They have grown insanely fast, and
as they do.
They are doing Nikos stuff, and I definitely agree. I had such a close relationship in the beginning, and already now, I mean, I'm taking the lid off and I'm just looking. It looks good. It's just just lose connection with bigger colonies because there's just more to observe. And I love my Nikos, but I don't know what to say.
It's a hard one, and I think there's no right or wrong answer. You know, you're always gonna change your mind. That's what I say. My mind is never set on anything. If you ask me one question one day and the same the next day, you'll get 2 different answers depending on what I've been doing that day, generally, and what ants I've been dealing with. You know.
Yeah, if I can just end it here. The interesting thing is people often say, "Oh, you only feed them once a week, or you only feed them so little." The more you feed them, the more maintenance. And so my goal is not maintenance. I feed all of my colonies, big or small, once a week. I just feed my Nikos. They get 3 adult dubia roaches where my flowers they get half a male adult dubia. So I try to feed all of them once a week, and people are like, "Oh no! If you want them to explode in numbers, you need to feed them every day and all of this." And I just hear that on a busy schedule, I need to put more time into the ants. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm doing a TikTok stream on my Danish TikTok every Sunday or a Saturday, where I just for around 40 minutes to 1.5 hours, I just talk with whoever joins while I just feed them. A bit like what Kushi does with his Wakushi talks on Friday, except I just do it with the Danes, not ant lovers, and I feel that's a really good disconnection because I hate cutting roaches, I hate ending a life. It's very, I mean, I'm not vegan or anything, but I just hate taking them up and saying, "Oh, you're gonna die, my friend."
It's your turn. Yeah.
Very, very unnatural for me. But when I'm talking with the people saying, "What's a queen?" I can kind of just turn the brain off, saying, "Oh, queen is cut, blah blah blah," and then do the dirty work. And that's been very fun because then it's not. To be honest, I just don't like feeding them. I love seeing them go crazy for it. I just don't like the whole feeding them, killing animals. It's not something I enjoy.
Yeah, no, that's fair. To be honest, I don't really enjoy it, but I see it as a necessary part. So, like, I try and keep that disconnection from my feeder animals, because otherwise, I always say it's like if you name a cow Betty, you're probably not going to want to eat Betty. But if it's just a nameless cow that's been bred for a burger, then eat the burger. That's kind of my view on it. I mean, I know it's a highly debatable subject in the world.
I agree. It's a good point. Very good point. It's also fun. People they always go crazy. Well, why don't you have killed the roaches? So think about the roaches. And I can just say, "Are you a vegan?" No. Okay. Think about the cows.
Yeah. I mean, I had this conversation with my half sister about she's vegan and she thinks it was weird that I love insects, I love my ants, and I do all these conservation projects, but I'm not vegan, and I'm happy to eat meat. And she couldn't put the two together. It's like there's got to be that disconnect in my head, otherwise it would kind of mangle together. And it would be messy, wouldn't it? It would be very messy.
I think it's a subject that every person has a different opinion, but I agree. It's just feeding feeder animals.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you're going to keep the insects, you've got to be prepared to feed them their kind of natural diet, I think.
Yeah. And that's also one of the big questions I often get from parents. "Oh, do we have to get cockroaches then?" I mean, no, you can get mealworms, but you can also feed them chicken. It's just not the completely ideal way because the protein levels are a bit lower, but you can feed them chicken. I mean, they are ants. They can get anything. But cockroaches are just easier to feed to larger colonies. Mealworms have more protein for smaller colonies. But you can feed them everything. So
no, you can feed them pretty much everything. It's not something I experiment very often with.
I don't either.
No, I don't. I just don't feel right about doing it, like giving them weird foods. Like it was mentioned about a Mars bar. Trying with a Mars bar, it's like, yes, that is sugars and it should be fine, but there's something in my head telling me don't do it.
I'm pretty sure Ants Canada did the Mars bar a few years ago, and they got drunk. They started walk. He gave it to the invasive feral ants or something, and when they got it, they took it, and then they just started walking around. They couldn't find their way home, so there was definitely something weird. But yeah, I experimented on my ants back when I had one colony, because I was so focused on this one colony. But now I just give them roaches and observe, and
yeah.
I
mean. So go on.
I'm trying to keep it as low maintenance. People are also like, how much time do you use on your ants a week? You have so many. I think I use around 2 minutes per colony per week. I take a roach, chop it up, put it in there, hydrate the nest, clean out. For small colonies, it's 1 minute or 2 minutes. For the Mesobarbaras, it's of course a lot more. But yeah, around 5 minutes max per colony. So that you can just say it's 20 minutes a month on maintenance. So yeah, Not a lot of time at all
That's not bad.
per colony.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, do you cut each roach and then go feed the colony, then go cut another roach and go feed a colony?
It's very dependent. Again, I do a TikTok stream every time, so it's really depending on my mood. If I want to get it fastly done, I just make 10 tinfoil dishes, take a roach, cut the head off, cut it in half, boom, next, cut head off, cut half, boom, feed, next. But sometimes I'm a lot more. It's a good having energy, and there's lots of people in the chat. It's good fun. It's like, oh, see, now I cut it, and now we can look at the ants. You can see the news are being spread. The Nicos are going down. 2 more news are coming up. You can see the news being spread, and that sometimes it's a long stream, and other times I think my record is around 30 minutes for feeding all of the colonies. But that was also when I didn't have to change any water tubes or any sugar tubes. I have all my outworld colonies have a constant sugar supply, so I only need to feed sugars to these 4 Venus colonies and the Tetramorium caspitum. So only 5 colonies that needs sugar, and the rest just need protein if they are stocked up. So I try to keep it easy for me because I just don't have too much time.
That's pretty much what I do. Like the bulk feeder method, I get I quite often use wax worms for my smaller colonies because I've got like hundreds of test tubes and stuff that I need to feed. So just cut a wax worm in half or whatever, job done. But I'll do like 40 wax worms, cut them all in half, get them all lined up on the tin foils and whatnot, and then boosh, done it. And like you say, it's whatever works easiest when you're in the moment, just getting it done. Sometimes you just gotta get it done.
Yeah, before my TikTok streams, that was also the method. I read down, you need 5 big plates, 10 small plates, 15 something, and just cut. Made all the plates, cut everything, boom. And it was just such a chore, and I hated doing it. Now with the TikTok streams, it's a little bit more fun. And my fiance, she started joining, so she goes around recording the ants. She records me, and it's a little weekend schedule now. It's a plan, so it's definitely a lot more fun than a year ago when it was just 5 big plates, 10 small. Cut. Feed, boom, onwards.
I mean that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Is just get it done. However I can do it, basically, because I've just got so much going on at the moment. It's been an absolute nightmare over Easter holidays. The kids have like 4 days off and then 4 days back, and now they're off again. What's that about?
It changes the plans a little bit. I can imagine.
It really does. Don't have kids. Anyone in the chat, if you haven't got kids, don't do it. You have far much more time on your hands. Lovely. Enjoy yourself.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not at the moment I'm not at all planning having kids, but it can always change in the future. But right now I use so much time on just ant stuff. Like I said, around maybe 3 hours a day. And my fiance is already now saying, what about me? So the good thing is I need to look for leaves on pretty much a daily basis. So we can go to a new forest or we can go to a new area and look for leaves. I mean having a nice picnic or having enjoy. But it gives a good reason for us to go a bit. And we also got a puppy. Okay, it's almost 1 year ago now.
Right.
But it's we're having and especially now it's summer, we're having a lot more outdoor trips. Which just gives that much stress on the YouTube, but I can take it for now.
I mean, I do love my kids. Don't get me wrong, I do love them, but
I can imagine.
It would be nice to have a bit more spare time, but all parents know what I'm talking about. We love our kids, really. I wouldn't change my daughter. My middle one, it was just her birthday as well, and it's been madness. But she got a Mesobarbarus colony the other day. So it was donated by Stein months ago as just a queen. And we've had it on the shelf, and she's literally not even wanted to look at it once. And then, what was it, last week, she came up to me and was like, Daddy, it's been a really long time. I think we should have a look. And we looked in there. First time we looked in there, and there's 10 workers now, or roughly 10. And I was just like, well done, like you've done it again, like you know exactly what you're doing. And she crushed up some seeds and stuck them in there, put them back on the shelf, and that's that. But she was so happy and like big-headed that she was like, oh, I was right, you know, I told you how to. All right. But
Yeah.
it's brilliant. I do love my kids. It's brilliant. But yeah, great fun. We've got a few more questions to get through, so I will keep going on with them. Which is your favorite ant colony out of the ones you've got at the moment, or is it impossible to put a finger on it?
Well, I the quote I said, I don't know how much it's one of my good quotes I originally made that Hoods just completely he uses this as well. The colony you record, because when I look in my macro, I get so much stuff and I look at all of this and they're so amazing, and then I have to edit it and do the video and all of this. So I just love the colony because you see how all the colonies doing, how the colony is doing, and then next week new colony, and you look at that colony and you edit that and you start really loving them. And the next colony, like right now I have zero relationship with my Tetramorium caspitum. I feed them and then I go to the next colony. I look once every 2 weeks, not that much brood, only a few workers. But if I had to do a video and just sit there and record them for a few hours, I'd definitely they will probably go from the bottom to quite high on the list. But I can't lie, the both the leafcutter colonies, they are really amazing to follow. At the moment, the acros, they are really going insane. I've had a lot of troubles with them not really taking any food in, and therefore them growing really slowly. They're starting to go insane. And the other, they have completely filled their pot with fungi. So at the moment, I keep trying to take some fungi and move it into a new pot. And the first 2 times they just took the fungi and said, you know what, let's put it back inside. But now actually they have had a mini fungi in the new pot for 2 days now. They haven't fed it yet, but they haven't relocated it yet either. But it's come to a point where I'm feeding them so much, but they don't cut too much because they don't have any fungi to grow because the fungi is just
too big already.
Yeah, it fills the pot, so it's a bit annoying. But hopefully they start cutting and growing the new fungi soon. It annoys me a little bit, but I love my leaf cutters just because you have almost daily maintenance. So you're being forced to interact with them, and not in a roach killing manner. You just have to go in and take the leaves and give them some new leaves and just see them go crazy. So leaf cutters are definitely on the top list. To be honest, flowers and the leaf cutters. I don't know why the flowers. I just like the flowers. That's.
I'm the same. I don't know what it is about flowers. I love them. Don't know why. I've got 2 colonies myself, and I don't know why. They're just great, aren't they?
They're just cute.
That's it. They're just nice little ants.
Yeah, I did a YouTube video on them a few weeks back. I had no reason to do it because they haven't grown a lot. I just really wanted an excuse to record them, so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna make a video. Not much to say, but look at how cute they are. Let's feed them. Let's give them some green color and watch them go green. And no reason to record them. I just like recording them because they're so cute.
That's what everyone's saying in the chat. They're just so cute and dinky. Yeah, they are just beautiful little ants, aren't they?
Really
what sort of diet do you keep your leaf cutters on? What sort of plants do they prefer to cut?
It is over the winter. I fed them on rose petals and Japanese privet together with the normal privet because that was the only thing I really had. The acros, they've just taken so much difference, so little stuff. They don't really take anything. But now with the new year, we have so much new blooming flowers all over the place. So I've started giving them lots of bramble. They go crazy for it. I found elder, but not the same as Hood. Hood says elder is gold, but his elder is spelled with an A and mine with an E. So I don't know what he's using. I haven't found his yet, but I feed my a lot of elder. Fresh bramble leaf, like the bramble that's just grown off the gold. The problem is just there's not a lot of it. You have to take like at least this size, because then it starts to grow a little bit more hard, and then they still eat it. But the small brambles that are like this size, completely fresh, they're just gone. It's just the first I take. So yeah, they love bramble. Typical leaf cutters. That's
that's fair. That's fair. I always find it really interesting the way the fungus provides pretty much everything that they need in their diet, doesn't it? They don't need carbohydrates and protein like other ants.
No, and not water either. I don't feed them
not water either. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought they still needed a supply of water.
No, they don't. It's actually really interesting. Even with Kushi, we've talked a lot of at the moment. Not a lot. We've talked a bit about it. You have to hydrate these pots by adding in water, and then the gypsum sucks in the water and creates humidity. I'm feeding them so many leaves that the leaves in there are creating so much humidity, and when they are biting the leaves, it gets wet. So now I'm extracting water from the water reservoir. I don't know why. I took the lid off and it was just filled with water. I was like, okay, I guess I take the water out now, because it was flooding just a little bit, not anything dangerous. And I just was like, what? And then I took the lid off and it was just water in there. I hadn't hydrated it. I guess there's so much moisture in the leaves that they just very weird. Super cool, but very weird.
It is quite interesting that actually. Obviously, it makes sense because there's a lot of water in leaves, but it's really interesting. I would have never put that through my head before you said it.
No, it's very very funky seeing it. But now also the other fungi, it's just blooming completely with these small flowers that aren't flowers. So now I can actually see the workers are going around picking the flower and then just going in the fungi. So it's like it has a whole white side almost. Small, very small flowers, even smaller than the workers. And I just see workers walking around with these flowers. And they as far as people say they eat it, I hadn't completely confirmed it yet. But I can just see they are taking it, and it fits with the description that they eat flowers from the fungi. So very cool to see. So yeah.
Fair enough. Now, do you know much about the fungi? Is it fungi or fungus? Do you know much about it? Is it like because obviously funguses are really interesting, aren't they? They're like the biggest biological masses and things like that. They're really interesting. So is there anything like that you know about it that you can share with us?
I don't think I'm the right guy for these. I just know the basic facts that it's you can't find the fungi without finding the ants. The ants can't live without the fungi. The fungi can't live without the ants. But something that's I find really interesting is that you can very easily transplant fungi. So just take fungi from one colony and give it to the other, and they'll say, "Oh, a fungi. Let's nourish it and keep it." And the same, you should also be able to take some acrofungi and give it to the other, and the other way around, and they will also just be, "Oh, fungi. Let's feed the fungi. Let's nourish the fungi." But other than that, I must say I'm a very casual ant keeper. I just document my stuff. I don't go into crazy readings. So whenever I need some real hard facts, I always go to Ants Netherlands 18 on Instagram. He's just the ant keeping nerd. So every time I have some, do you think this would be clever to do? Do you think this is a good idea? What do you think? He's the guy because he's a nerd on a good nerd, but he's the nerd. So he's a clever guy.
I think we're all nerds, really. Like, yeah. Let's be honest. If you're into ant keeping, you're a slight nerd.
Yeah, but I'm a dyslexic nerd, so I watch the videos, and that's how I get my knowledge.
That's fair. That's fair. So it's coming up to nuptial flight season, isn't it? Are you planning to go out this year hunting?
Not particularly. No.
No?
Yeah, no, not really.
You've got quite a few. You got enough?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't have any experiments I want to do. I don't have anything. Yeah, last year I got the the Lasius fuliginosus and the Tetromerium caspitum by mistake. I just saw them and I took them, and I definitely will have small caps with me. I always have caps in my jackets, so if I see queen or anything. But I'm not gonna go out and grab niters or stuff like that. I love thinking of trying to make a Formica rufa or sanguini colony because I have some massive hills, and in 2019 I actually captured some queens, but that was before I actually knew how to properly manage them, and I gave them some workers, and it didn't go out. It didn't turn out well. So that's the only thing I'm considering a little bit doing. I now know a location of a good Fusca colony and a good colony for them. So I made not actively seeking it, but if I see a nuptial flight when I'm in the forest with my fiance, I will definitely capture a few and try to do that experiment. But I'm not planning on. That's not anything I'm seeking for capturing, at least.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, it's one of those. I've got enough colonies. I don't really want to go out, but I always find it exciting. So I've said, if anyone in the local area wants to do it or wants to learn how to do it, I'll take them out. I'll give them all a little text on the day that it's happening to be like, meet me now, go, and we just have a little bit of fun. But I'm not overly worried about catching anything. I just enjoy the experience, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. It's just fun. I captured a queen I didn't know what was, and it turned out it was just a boring, cute flowers. And I just made a TikTok giveaway and gave it to a Dane. So there's so many Danes requesting me to do a store because we don't have a store in Denmark. But I don't have time to make videos, so that's not gonna be a priority. I don't know. Perhaps I'll get a queens and send it if there's any Danish small stores thinking of starting. But currently, no, not anything I'm actively looking for.
No, that's fair enough. Is there any species that you don't particularly like ghost ants or something like that? Is there anything that you don't really take fancy to?
Not really. I mean, I'm definitely not looking that much into getting any what are they called, inbreeding species. I thought a little bit. I was actually really close to getting a Tetromerium bicarinatum. I was really considering having them out in the nut ant room to show to people. But then I had my big messer escape, and it was a big hit. Like, are you really gonna get an inbreeding species when you had such a nightmare with Douglas? So I think the messer escape really just put everything into perspective. But I wouldn't say I hate any ants. I love all ants. I don't think there's any. I remember you. I think you asked Aesthetic this question, or I think Aesthetic got asked this question somewhere, and he had a good response. I just can't remember it, but he had a response where like, "Oh yeah, that's true." So there may be some ants, but not really anything I can think of.
No, that's fair. I mean, there's not any that I don't like. I like all ants like yourself, but I'm not into keeping Solenopsis geminata and Invicta. And like you said, I'm probably not really into the inbreeding species like the Monomorphium. I've had them, and I've decided I don't really want them again. Like, they're a handful when they get going. They are a bit of a handful. And one thing that I kind of, it's not that I don't enjoy it, because I love watching the little ants swarming all over stuff, but I'd much prefer to see bigger ants tearing something apart than the little ants swarming, if you know what I mean, like that carpet effect that you get.
Yeah, I agree. I think just that people often ask, "Oh, should I go for Fidoli or Nicobarensis or something?" And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not into small ants, so I'd myself go for the Camponotus just because you can see everything without putting your phone in macro and all of this. I'm a big ant fan for bigger ants. At the moment, I both got the Camponotus singularis, big slow-growing ants, the Harpignathos venators, semi-big slow-growing ants. I'm looking for big ants at the moment, just and where I can see what's going on. So I'm not really looking for any small inbreeding fast. I'm like you. I like my ants big. Just,
I like your hands big. Yeah, no, I like you said, I just like being able to see it with ease, not really having to like squint. And I have got smaller species, and I have got Fedoli, and it's a nightmare to try and see them. Like the minute they're on the boat, they're invisible.
Yeah. With my Fedoli Pielia, I looked inside and I couldn't see if they had brood. Like, I think is that larvae? Is it? Oh, it's pupae. Yeah. I lost my contact with them because I just couldn't completely see what was going on inside there. So I lose my connection, and it's not like I hate small ants. After I've kept small ants, I don't prefer keeping small ants.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm much the same. Moving on slightly, you've had a bit of a rebrand of your logo and stuff, haven't you? Was there any reason behind that, or did you just fancy making it look a bit?
It's hard to say. My fiance, she's for the longest time. I have the old logo on my phone. It's not at all being outfaced yet. It's still everywhere except my logo. I told my brother in 2018 when I made my first video of me recording my ants, could you make a logo, an ant and a green stuff? And he sent me this, and I was like, oh, that's amazing! It's an ant, and it's a logo. But now I'm considering it's a bit more of a brand now, and I was like, it is. I think it was actually Wakushi. Wakushi sent me a screenshot from Formicast. He did back when he did the massive talks. Where there were all of these creators and then we had Ants Hood, and there was another guy, I can't remember, and they just stood out so much more because they had this unique logo. I mean to the normal not ant fan, oh, that's Ant Holleufer, but when you come in the community, there's just, oh wait, is that Ants Britannia? It's an ant. And that's where I decided, I'm gonna contact the guy behind Ants Hood's logo and Ants and the Colonialist as logo, and I'm not really imaginary. I'm quite autistic on that behavior. I don't really have any imagination, so I was like, so a leaf cutter ant and my name, what can you do? And he sent a few versions. We talked back and forward, and he ended with this version I have now, and I think it's really unique, and again, it's not that unique because it's a leaf cutter ant, and that's what most people are also having as a logo. But it stands out. So I'm happy for it. And that's. I just kind of wanted to get away from this basic ant that a lot of people having. No hate towards the basic ant. No hate at all. Aesthetic ants, he has the basic. We had pretty much the same ant, and no hate. I didn't feel it was too unique, so that's why I wanted to get away from that.
No, it makes sense. I really like the new logo. I think it's like it really stands out, and it, like you say, it shows who you are, says your name, it does what it says on the tin, sort of thing. Yeah.
When I told my brother, he does the most of my graphic stuff, my intro, outro. He works with that for daily. So he sometimes make these videos, and I said, oh, I'm thinking of rebranding, and he's like, oh, you need to change this, you need to change this.
It's a lot, yeah.
And I'm like, man, no rush. I know you're getting a wife and you're getting a house and all of this. No rush. It's not something. I'm not doing a proper rebranding. Like now we go from this to this. Just over the next year, the intro will be updated. The small banners, everything will slowly get phased out and updated. So it's not like a rebranding quickly thing, just slow and steady. That's
no like KFC.
Yeah, it's just slow.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone noticed, but KFC used to have a different logo and stuff, and they've changed their logo, and not many people noticed. But if you look at the difference, you'll be like, how did I not notice that? But you say, you do it slowly over time, and it's like it just kind of works its way into your brain.
Yeah, I have to Google that. I think I only know the old logo now. I think I
Well,
didn't know.
to be fair, I don't know the situation over there. You might still have the old logo. But I know in the UK and America, they've got this new logo now. No one really noticed that they put it in. It's really sneakily done.
Yeah.
Just
I'll have
kidding. Who cares? I'm just yeah, keeping track of things.
no worries, no worries.
That's right. So we've only got one more question, really, and it is there anything else that you wanted to share with us? Are you up to anything new? Have you got any big plans? Is there anything you want to share with the community before we let you go for the evening?
It's fun because I got this question not that long ago, and I completely misanswered because I'm sitting here like I don't think I have any big things going on. I don't. I mean, I'm gonna get a new leaf cutter set up in the near future. Gonna for the other week, I'm gonna make a cool leaf cutter setup with stuff in the background, so they're going around.
Nice, yeah.
I even actually today thought about making a leaf cutter setup where they would go into a pipe and then cut a hole in my door and make the pipe go out the door and then go out to an arena in the house. Just because why not? So
yeah.
But officially, I don't think there's any big things. Of course, I mean there's Ancon, but yeah, that's a few weeks away. Will you be attending, or will you be in the? Yeah, I got the question came again. The Ant expedition.
Exhibition.
Exhibition. Yeah.
It's hard one to say, isn't it?
Yeah, especially my dyslexic is
yeah.
playing with
Yeah,
it.
that's fair.
But are you going to both, or are you just going to your own one?
I'm only going to be going to my one now. I was going to go to both, but to be honest, with the way that like fuel prices have gone up and everything's getting insane, I had to choose one or the other, and obviously I can't not go to my own event.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
definitely expensive.
I just couldn't justify going to both to my wife basically, and she was like, "No."
Yeah, it's very understandable. It's expensive, man. Holy moly! First, I'm only being there 3 days, but still expensive.
Yeah, 3 days. That would have been longer. I was thinking, what could I do to make it cheaper? Instead of getting a hotel, I'd find a 24-hour gym, just go train in the evening, and yeah. So you pay like a £5 to go in the gym or whatever, or 50 quid on a hotel night.
Yeah.
Makes sense. True. But yeah, just a train fare alone would be insane. Fuel money's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. It's all crazy at the minute. But that is actually the interview over. If there's nothing else that you wanted to share with us, it's been absolutely amazing having you on the show again. Thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, it's been really great fun. Do you want to say goodbye to the community before we let you go?
Yeah, I just saw one last question from
go on.
All Ants UK. I have the Harpignathos venators. Sadly, the day I got them, I took the tube in, and when they started moving around, and the day after, I picked out they had a ton of dead, and I picked out all the deads, and I sadly concluded that the queen had also died. So the queen was dead, and since then I have tried to get in reach with a few stores and talking about a new queen, but there's not really anyone who has anyone in stock at the moment. And the good thing with Harpignathos is that they can accept new work and new queens. But I think they have 20 workers or something, and they have laid some eggs, but I'm counting on them being male eggs.
Yeah, probably.
I can't see any queens, and they have been in the egg stage for a month now.
And
not
great signs.
No, I'm just feeding them. I'm supposed to be doing a video next Sunday, but already now my time schedule is I like to be like half a week in front, and being done by the video on around Wednesday, so I can give it to the members on Thursday. But yeah, at the moment, I wanted to record them yesterday going out hunting, but they don't go out hunting because they have no reason to go out hunting. And I'll definitely hit up Mr. Antics afterwards. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, but that's how it is.
We do have one more question from Katrina. Ants Holleufer, do your Mesa Queen elites do that?
Very, very, very good question. I thought this year would be the year where they would start producing elites, but of course, Messer have their nuptial flights in October, I think. Very late on the year. I think in the beginning and in the end, if I'm not completely mistaken. But at the moment, I don't see any elites yet. But they may come in a minute, or maybe not. I'm not too sure. I don't feed them too much. I feed them 3 to 5 dubia roaches a week, and just a ton of seeds, so they get more seeds than they need. But if you really want to boost them, you need to feed them a bit more protein, I think. I'm not too sure. I'm just feeding them a lot of seeds and a few dubia roaches. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Right. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Mr. Holleufer. It's been an absolute pleasure, buddy. Really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence and answering all of our questions.
No worries.
I'm hoping my daughter's happy as well, because I've asked all of hers. Did you want to say very quickly?
Yeah, I'll thank you for inviting me. It was fun yet again. And I saw parts of the old interview. It's always fun seeing the old videos or the older style.
Yeah.
If the Flavors video I made last week, it's fun if you see the entire playlist. You see before I made a face reveal, and then in my second apartment where I had the camera like right in my face, and then I got the studio, and now I have the new studio, and you can just see all of this transformation over the 2 years I kept them. So I always feel it's fun to look back. And yeah, back when we talked last time, I just got the Ada, and the egg crows had the fungi like golf ball size. Yeah, fun to think back upon. Yeah, it's been a thank you for inviting me. I don't know if I should just call it off and say my goodbye style, or how it works.
Yeah, say your thing, do your thing.
Oh yeah, I will then. So yeah, thank you for watching me. Yeah, gonna say bye. Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I don't know how to log out. So
no, it's all right. Well, I'll let you go. Right, thank you very much, buddy. We'll see you again soon. Right, there we go. Oh, hang on. Shush. Otherwise, we're going to get an echo. That's better. Hello, everybody. That was a brilliant interview with Mr. Ants Holleufer. If you haven't subbed to his channel, check it out on YouTube. Ants Holleufer. You can't miss it, really. He's got a really cool logo. Yeah, great fun. Really knowledgeable guy. A really nice guy as well. So sub to his channel, give him a little message on Instagram or whatever if you want to get in contact with him. Like I say, he's a really nice guy and quite open to chatting about ants and so on. So on with the show. We've got a few random things planned for you as always tonight. We're going to have a little duck race in a minute, and we're probably going to move on with a few other things as we always do. Apart from that, if you've got anything you want to ask me, feel free to send me a message in the chat. I will keep my eyes on it and so on. I want to say a massive welcome to everyone in the chat as well, because I haven't really had a chance to say hello to everyone. I have been keeping an eye on it, but you know what it's like trying to concentrate on someone talking. You don't want to be reading at the same time. So hello, All Ants UK, Steve, thanks for turning up, buddy, and Antics, Stacy, Rakushi, Ants Holleufer, Ants UK, Katrina. Who else we got? We got quite a few people in the chat. So hello, everybody. Thank you for signing in for another episode of the Picnic Table Chat Show. So I'm going to bring up a duck race, because we all love a good duck race. If you haven't played duck races with us before, all you have to do is chuck in a number. They're not for a prize at this current point in time. Simply because they're not. We do them too often to have a prize every time we have a duck race. But it's going to be a good bit of fun. Grab your number. It's first come, first serve. If your number gets taken, pick another number. I'm going to put in, we've got 11 people in the chat at the moment, so we're going to have 11 ducks. In fact, we'll put in 12 ducks just to be on the safe side, because you know what it's like. Right, 12 ducks, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And we're going to go like that. Katrina, I don't know if we're going to have time tonight, but thank you very much for the offer. So we're going to go that one, full screen. Thank you very much. Technology will work for me in the end. So has everyone got their numbers? Everyone happy to play, ready to play? Let's get this race underway. We have quite a few interesting ducks. We've got a mermaid duck there up at the top. Mermaid duck is storming ahead out of the gates. We've got Professor Duck, we've got Soldier Duck, even got Judge Duck, Unicorn Duck, and Hearty Red Duck. That one's kind of failing at the back, but we'll see how it goes. You know, you can never put a good duck down. The race is coming together quite well. We've got number 5, number 10 coming out of battle out for the front place. Now, you never want to push too early on. If you push too early on, you've got no energy left when you come back for the last bit. Those last, like, 30 seconds, 15 seconds of the race, that's where you got to put it all in. So at this point, I would like to be number 4. Number 4's got the right idea. He's holding it back. He's got his energy. He's ready to storm the gates. We got Unicorn Duck dropping back as well. Mermaid Duck has been holding first place almost the whole time. That's a minute of racing at full duck speed. Now, ducks don't go that fast, but when they really put some effort in, it can be quite scary when they're coming towards you. I don't know if having the mermaid tail would affect how fast the duck can swim. If it's an unfair advantage, it's like putting duck tails on, no, fish tails on. You see what I'm trying to say, you know what I mean. So number 9, number 1 have pulled out in front. 30 seconds left. Coming up to the last little bit now, last 10 seconds. And it's all to play for. All of them are going absolutely crazy for it. And number 2. Well done, number 2. If anyone had number 2, you are the winner. You won the amazing prize of nothing, I'm afraid. Like I said before, it's just a little bit difficult to have a prize for every duck race we have. We are getting more sponsors. I've been talking to loads of people, and one of them will be sponsoring us soon. So we will be doing more prizes for the quizzes and the game shows and things like that we do, because that's all good fun and games. We're probably not going to do much of a quiz or anything tonight, strictly because I've got quite a bit of a schedule. I was in the middle of filming, actually. I'm trying to get some videos out for you, because it's been an absolute nightmare lately. Like I say, just trying to get the videos out on time has been difficult over the Easter holidays. Oh, now look at that beetle. The beetle's not having a very good time in there. I wouldn't be doing it. I only fed them. I fed them 4 roaches. Was it 4 roaches and 4 waxworms? Something like that. But you can see, I don't know how blurry it is, but there's quite a few ants. Let's go there. Very blurry, but you can see it's like a carpet of ants. See, I like this size ant because although there's lots of them, you can still see what's going on and get quite a bit of detail. But if you had this many Fidoli or something, it's still pretty, they're still pretty tiny. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But I do like my slightly bigger ant. I like all ants, really. You know me, I'm not that fussy. Quite easy going. If it's a cool colony, it's a cool colony. Although I do prefer to not have to squint. It makes me think I need glasses. Now, I don't need glasses. I've been tested. But when I'm looking at small ants, I'm like, where are they? You sure they're there? And yeah, it makes me think that I need glasses. Right, see you later, Wakushi. Thank you for joining, buddy. It's always a pleasure to have you here. All Ants UK. I was just about to say that's the Green Weaver ants. That's absolutely awesome. If you do, let me know because I'd love to like follow your progress with them. I decided against those trips because they're obviously a bit harder than the Polybacchus dives. They prefer living higher up as well. So take that into account when you're designing your enclosure. Not like Polybacchus dives. Pollies prefer to live like on the lower down bushes, if you know what I mean. And then proper green weaver ants live higher up on the trees and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe just take that into account when you're designing your enclosure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it will be fine because it will just work. But yeah, I didn't go for them because they're just slightly harder and a bit more expensive, to be honest. So I got myself to Polybacchus dives just because I knew that I could handle them better. It wouldn't be like I'm not going to lose them as easily as the proper green weaver ants, which can be quite sensitive to certain things. Ants UK. Updates on the exhibition. I can tell you all sorts about the exhibition. Things changing almost on a daily basis. Wow, so someone's getting there we go. Yeah, things change almost on a daily basis with the exhibition. I've had quite a few vendors confirm that they're coming. The ant lady has actually pulled out at the moment. That might change closer to the day. It was a massive loss to lose the ant lady, to be honest, but that's because of some of the dramas in the ant keeping community. Yeah, exactly, Spambot. Thank you, Stacey. Yeah, some of the dramas in the ant keeping community. I don't know what exactly was going on, but basically there's always drama behind the scene in the ant keeping community, and trying to put on an exhibition where you're inviting lots of ant people together apparently is really difficult because they all seem to have dramas with each other. No, not all of them, let's get that straight. There's a few people which just tend to fall out. So KB is going to be there, the ant lady is not going to be there at the minute as it stands. So you know what happened with that. Like, let's say people just fall out. It's really annoying because it's like, that's the last thing. But yeah, so we still got Answer Us and all the other ones, and the Ant Keeping magazine and the National Doodads and loads of others, and we still got the amazing guest speakers. And basically, Ant Lady's stall has Ants UK. I'm not going to go into what happened because it's nothing to do with me, and I'm not going to air it, and you know what I mean. It is out there on the internet for people to find, but it's nothing to do with me, so I'm not going to go into it. Just there was a falling out, and the Ant Lady's not coming now. But Ant Lady's stall is being replaced with with another big exhibit thing. So not something for you to buy, not something to waste money on or whatever. It's just something cool to look at, kind of get involved with. So it's just another cool exhibit. So we've got quite a few different exhibits, if that's the right word, exhibit. Yeah, I'm going to say exhibit. We've got quite a few different exhibits going on. We got obviously all the vendors. We're going to have the creator area, the stage area, food area, because everyone needs to eat. Yeah, there's loads of different stuff going on. So although it is a massive shame to lose the ant lady, there's enough going on that it's not like the show's over, if you know what I mean. That it's going to be a brilliant show regardless. But yeah, it is a massive shame, but that's the way of it. I think. Oh no, I need to. Right, so there's. God, they just don't give up tonight, do they? There's. There we go. Right. That's bad tonight, isn't it? Yeah. Blocked them as well. Oh, Ants UK. Hang on. Oh, I think think I blocked Ants UK as well. Oh no. I'll have to work that out in a minute and sort that. If anyone can message Ants UK and just apologise for me, just say I think I blocked him by accident. I will unblock him as soon as I work out how. Oh dear. No, that's not it. Right, stop touching things. Wait, did you say? Yes, Steve, there's going to be food vans at the event because obviously we need to eat. Opposite the Fairfield School as well, there's huge green areas, lovely for eating your picnic. But yeah, there's going to be food vans available on site because we all need to eat. And it's going to be like the plan is like because like it's such there's quite a lot going on, so you could probably spend like a whole day there without just going around it once and getting bored, if you know what I mean. So like yeah, there's food, there's different events happening, different speakers going on throughout the day. There's so much happening. It's like every half an hour there's something else starting up, basically all around the room. Not just the vendors. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait for the show, to be honest. It's going to be absolutely spectacular, if that's a word. Yeah, spectacular is a good word. I'm going with spectacular. Yeah, there's going to be loads of sellers. There's going to be quite a few different ant shops. Ant Keeping Magazine, the Avon Wildlife Trust, I want to say. One of the Wildlife Trusts is going to be there. There's going to be mantises, some other inverts, some other stalls. Lots of different vendors are going to be attending, which is going to be absolutely awesome to have a good variety of things. I'm kind of hoping it will bring in crowds from other inverts as well. And then we can go like, there's the ants. There's the ants. You know, so that would be quite good. Ant shops at the minute, I can't actually set, I can tell you Ants Are Us, and I can tell you my ant shop's going to be there, but I can't tell you much more than that because I can't, there's a privacy thing and you can only actually announce it if you've got permission, and 3 of them have not given me permission to announce that they're coming until closer to the date. Most things aren't actually getting announced until after AntCon because I don't want to, like, if you know what I mean, without saying, I don't know the word for it. I don't want to like try and yeah. So after AntCon, I'll release more details on mine, basically. But yeah, I can't tell you much of what sellers are going to be there unless they've given me permission to. British Ants is not going to be there. It is more than just Ants Are Us, Ants England. There's 5 in total ant shops at the moment. And I have got permission from Mantis and I to tell you that he's going to be there. Yeah, Ants England. It's sort of a, let's say we've all kind of agreed not to advertise a massive amount until after AntCon. I just thought it would be a bit better this way, you know, all of that. So I just thought it'd be a bit better if we just release more details after AntCon. Still gives us plenty of time. Oh, I dropped my pen. Plenty of time to, exactly. I don't want to step on anyone's toes or seem like I'm like trying to be a dick, excuse my language. So yeah, I'm just gonna, like, what's out there is out there, and I don't want to keep putting more out there until after AntCon's been and gone. I say we've got plenty of time to advertise mine after that. It's not an issue. Yeah, Steve, Ants Are Us is absolutely brilliant. Believe it or not, Ants Are Us actually sponsors this show as well. He's one of the couple of sponsors that we have for the show. He's a really nice guy. He came on a few episodes ago and we had a great chat about everything that he's got going on. In fact, he's got a lot going on, Ants Are Us, at the moment. He's big expansions and big plans going on. So it's worth having a watch of that episode if you haven't watched it. Antimatters, yeah, I know that feeling. It's all madness at the minute. This country is just, it's like the price of milk has gone up almost double. That's all I'm going to say. Like the whole country's getting so expensive. Would love to meet Chris and all of it. Yeah, I can't wait to meet Chris. Tom, are there any species you're thinking of adding to the shop? Let me cough. Oh, whew. Like, believe it or not, like before I say that chest infection, which is an ear infection as well now, it's just I still can't. What's 6 weeks of antibiotics I've been on now? It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm a little bit better, as you can see. I can breathe now, I can talk, and I can just about hear you. Not now, but when there was things to hear. But yeah, 6 weeks on antibiotics, and I don't feel much better. So we'll see how it goes. Keep going with it. But so is there any species I'm thinking of adding to the shop? Loads. I've got an exotic or delivery. Yeah, I've got a delivery of exotics on its way, and I've got some like other species on their way. It's all sort of depends on delivery times and things like that. But yeah, it's all coming, and then they got to go through quarantine as well. So it'll be a little while yet before anything else appears on the website. But I'm not rushing into having massive of different colonies, mainly because like I don't want to compete as an ant shop. My main thing is the subscription boxes. So pretty much everything available in my ant shop is what you would be able to get via the subscription boxes, including the ant colonies. So there's not much point in me getting loads and loads of different ant colonies to get in, because there's already all these big ant sellers out there which do an amazing job. They have high quality. There's just no point, if you know what I mean. I just don't see a point in trying to be an ant queen shop. But I've got multiple queens for sale, because obviously I've got them there for my subscription boxes, and if you want to just pick one up, you can anyways. Or like some of the other stuff like the honeys and stuff like that, if you don't get enough in your subscription boxes, then you can get more. God damn. God, it's bad tonight, isn't it? Try and block that one. There's a shortage of ants from Australia and South America. Yeah, that won't surprise me, actually. Hang on, working on it. Error occurred. Try refreshing the page. It should be blocked, but it's not blocking it. Well, I wouldn't recommend anyone clicks on the links. I'll just say that. Silver ants. Yeah, see, now there's some really cool species, like I say, but there wouldn't be much point in, right, that would do. There won't be much point in, like I say, getting all sorts of different ant species if I wasn't happy to send them out in the subscription boxes. And the subscription boxes need to be something that, like ants, I have good experience with, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to be able to give you a full learning experience via the subscription boxes. Yeah, exactly. Unless I know the colonies myself. So I'm not going to be getting ants that I haven't kept myself and stuff like that. All the ants generally I've kept, I know what I'm doing, and I can talk you through how to care for them. Because that's the whole point of the subscription boxes is a learning experience. You know, it's not just getting all the stuff. Yes, you get lots of cool stuff with it, and you get the ant colonies, but you get like a full learning package every month. All the different materials, you know, it's a great learning experience. So I won't be able to give you that full learning experience if get up to speed on some of the exotics. See, I do know I've kept quite a lot of exotics and things like that, but like I say, unless I've kept them and I'm really confident teaching someone about them, I'm not gonna like send them out in the subscription boxes, if that makes sense, because we really do go into depth in the subscription boxes. Like that's the idea of it. Like you'll know a lot if you go through the first, second, and third year. You'll pretty much know everything I know, which sounds like a lot, but it's not really. Let's be honest. I know very little apart from what I get told in the interviews. But no, I know bits and bobs. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, I don't know how much later we are going to leave it tonight. Obviously, we started a little bit earlier. I say a little bit earlier. We started an hour earlier. So I'm probably going to finish 10:30, 11, 10. I don't know. We'll see how it's going. At the minute, we're going to be looking to do another duck race very shortly, just because I need to get a drink. My mouth is drier than a dry thing. You should make a dives box. Oh, I was thinking a bird box for Polyrachus dives. What? Yeah, see, now that would be interesting. The Polyrachus dives is something that I would be happy to provide in the it would be the advanced boxes or the exotics, whatever I decide to call it in the end. I could definitely do that. But like I say, in the year's subscriptions, I give out 3 colonies. So it'd be like in the intermediate one, you get 3 colonies, but each time you get a choice. So the first one you can have either a Camponotus or a Formica colony. And that's in the first month of the subscription service. And that's basically because Camponotus and sometimes Formica take so long. You need to get them as early as you can. So we'll start on like the campos and stuff, and then it moves on, so every 4 months, every 5th month, you'll end up with a new. Is that right? 3 times a year, you'll get a new colony, but you'll get the choice out of this or that, depending on your own personal preference. It's only the beginner one where it's a little bit more set in stone, because there's a correct way to sort of go about it. Although you can go about it anyway, it's a good way to start keeping ants is Lasius niger, Lasius flavus, and then Mesobarbarus. It's a great way of keeping ants, and the way we've done it is we've broken it up into different sections. So each different ant species gets a different form of way of keeping, basically. So your first one's going to be in a standard colony, your second one's in a bioactive setup, the third one is in another different, you know what I mean? So then, and the aim is to do that with all of it. So by the end of, like I say, 3 years, if you do beginner, intermediate, and the advanced, you would know pretty much everything, every different way of keeping ants. You would know everything that I know pretty much. You'd know so much about the different ant species. You'd have this massive fact file full of different fact sheets. Yeah. Ants England, that'd be absolutely awesome. If you want to do that, feel free to send me a message and we can definitely work something out. Yes, in the box, Steve, you do get the Formicarium. The Formicarium is like the 4th month. So on the 1st month, you get a colony. 2nd month, you get something. 3rd month, you get something. 4th month, you get the Formicarium. Again, that's to like help with the learning process of keeping them in the test tube for that growing founding period, if you know what I mean. It's all part of the plan. So it kind of works well, and it plays into itself in the fact that we're sending you these colonies separately to the Formicarium. You get all the food that you need, you get free gifts, you get all the learning materials, you get the barriers, pretty much everything that you need for the whole year is in the subscription boxes. I haven't had an email yet saying there's something that's not in there, like something's missing, or what do I what housing comes into subscription. That's really great one, Ants England. No one's actually asked me that. So in the beginner one, I can tell you the beginner one is a bit more set in stone. You get the pour more test tube of A with the Lasius Niger. My mind's gone blank. The Lasius Flavus. You get more of a tub. I can't really explain it, but it's more of a tub that you can put some soils and stuff like that in. It's more built for a bioactive setup, but it's not what I would call a tank, if you know what I mean. Slightly different. And then in the Mesobarbarus one, you get again another what I would call a tub, and that's basically teaches you about the tubs and tubes setup, which works really well for Mesobarbarus. And then it moves on later on. But yeah, it all kind of, you get the formicarium, they all kind of play into each other. Each formicarium's been thought about to match what I'm trying to teach in that section, if you know what I mean. It's honestly the amount of work and stuff that I've put into like thinking about how to make it all function and not just function, but how to make it worth learning. That makes sense, because it's all like reading this, learning that, blah 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 blah. Hello, Ant Warrior buddy. But if it's not fun to learn and it's not relevant to what you're doing at the time, then there's no point in learning it. So I've tried to keep everything kind of relevant to what's going on, and all the bits that you get are relevant to that section that we're working through. It's all quite well explained on the sheets, but speaking to me in person, and I just ramble, you know what I'm like. But on the sheets, it all makes sense. It's really good. Excuse me and my bad cough. I really am struggling with my cough at the moment. I'll give it a go and do it with my daughter. Ants England, yeah, like I said, I've tried to make it as amazing as possible, and I'm always willing to accept criticism as well. I'm hoping that, like I say, so far I've had no complaints. No one said that, oh, what do I do? I need this or anything like that. It just, hey, 8 legs, thanks for checking in on us, buddy. It just kind of, it's working really well at the minute. So yeah, if you want to get involved and like let me know what you think, do a little video review or whatever, that would be really cool. You do a little video review every month. When the box comes out, I don't know. One thing I will say, which has been so annoying, right? And we think we've solved the issue now. So I went to somewhere for, what's the word, custom made boxes, because I wanted custom boxes to send out all my postage and all of that lot. And they got sent to me, right? But they never came. So I left it like a month or something. And then they asked me to pay again. Apparently, I'd never paid them. So I paid them again. The box never came. I rang them up and they're like, oh, it must have been lost in the mail. So they sent it again. The second box never came. So I've demanded a refund. But it's just really annoying, because I was really looking forward to having the nice custom-made boxes ready and done. We think we found a new supplier, pretty much the same price. So I'm going to go with them and get it sorted. So the boxes will actually come in a box soon, because that was the whole idea. The subscription box will come in a box. But at the minute, I'm still using big posting bags and things like that. And I have got boxes, but they're not the nice. Like, it's all the nice colours and it had my logo on, and you know what it's like. And it's like, I just want the boxes. I just want the boxes. But yeah, so we'll get there in the end. We'll get there in the end. It's working there. So we've got the bird. 8 legs, 4 wheels. No worries at all. Thank you for signing in. We started a little bit early tonight as well, because Ants Holleufer is actually from Holland. I think he's from Holland, Denmark, Holland. He's from Denmark. Because his name's Holleufer, I always think Holleufer, Holland. But no, he's from Denmark, which is a couple of hours that way. I'm pretty sure he's from Denmark. He's from the other side of the channel anyways, from Europe. So we went an hour earlier for Mr. Holleufer, which was great. It was a really good chat, actually. I really liked his lights. Yeah, I know that sounds silly, but we've got a white sheet behind me. At the minute, it's covering. There's like posters and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I could do with some nice lighting. I've got some lights, as you know, but I could do with some nice coloured lights. Make my room look pretty. To be fair, I just don't have the space. If I had my own ant room, I would definitely have some coloured lights in it. And as you might have seen on my ant shelves, they all have lights. They all have their own individual lights, and they have night lights and so on and so forth. But I don't have any good light. In fact, my ants get looked after better than I do. But I think that's how it should be with pets. In fact, if you're ever in a job interview, I used to do loads of job interviews, interviewing people, because that was part of my job when I worked for the council. Sort that right out. If you're ever in a job interview and they say, if you could be any animal or any pet, what would you be? Now, the perfect answer for any job interview, you say your own dog or your own pet, because they get so well looked after, everything's done correctly. As an interviewer, you're just like, my God, they've got it. And that, perfect answer. Yeah, it seems we have an issue with our microphone. So the sound was dreadful on the video, annoying because of buy another one. Oh, 8 legs, yeah. I know that feeling, but to be honest, I always have issues with Wi-Fi, my camera, and my microphone. Tonight, we're on my phone right now. The other cameras, the computer camera is on the tank. This is on my phone, and the computer's in front of me so that I can monitor chat. That's why I keep looking like that. So we got the computer. I'll get it all sorted one day. Right? One day, this is a promise to the ant keeping world. I will get everything sorted, and we'll have a seamless episode with lighting, and it'll be great. It'll be great. One day. That's a promise. Apart from that, I don't actually have an awful lot to talk to you about tonight. Like I said, it's just been absolutely busy, hectic over the last 2-3 weeks. Easter holidays, kids, madness. It was my daughter's birthday, and we've had the party, and I've eaten probably about 1.5 kilograms of cake, maybe more. I'm gonna eat more in a minute. But so completely off subject. I said I wasn't going to compete again for at least a year because I'm working towards a very particular goal. What am I going to do? I'm going to sign up for a competition a week before the exhibition. So I'm going to be competing. It's only a local one at my local gym, so it's kind of stupid for me not to. I'll be competing as a strongman the weekend just before the exhibition. So I need to eat and keep going. Can't leave the channel now as we're nearly 8 legs. You're doing really well with 600. I just reached 500 subs a minute ago, well, a couple of days ago. Absolutely amazing, and a massive thank you to the whole community. But 500 subs just on YouTube. On Twitch, we're on like 40 something, and we got followers everywhere. But I like to think of YouTube as the one that we're counting. But 500 on YouTube, absolutely amazing. Blew my socks off, quite frankly. I was well pleased. I had a smile on my face all day, and everyone was like, "What are you so happy about?" Got 500 subs on YouTube. Like, when I started this, I never expected it. You know what I mean? I never expected even to get to 100, let alone 500. But now, so the next goal is 1,000. Let's see if we can get to 1,000. Share this show. Tell people about the show. If they're into ants or insects, tell them about it. Tell them to give it a watch. or even send me a little message to come have an interview, because we're always looking for more guests, opening it up to more and more people. Get in contact, tell your friends to get in contact, and let's see if we can get to 1,000 subs. Thank you very much, Ants England. That's very kind of you. I probably will be doing a big giveaway. There's all sorts of things happening, so keep your eyes on this space, sort of thing. I haven't even had a chance to think about it yet, because it just it happened out of nowhere. I was up and down, and as we all know, I've been losing them faster than I've been gaining them lately. So it was really nice to actually go up slightly. It happens, not an issue. I don't know what else I'm going to talk to you about right now. I've completely filled my list, or gone over my list of subjects to talk about, and it is only 10 o'clock. Which actually makes sense, because I generally do, I write down about an hour's worth of talking for after the interview. And normally it would be 11 o'clock, roughly, when we do the finish of that. So 10 o'clock, it makes sense. I don't know if I'll be here until 11 o'clock, to be completely honest, if I ain't got nothing to chat to you about. But thank you very much, Antimatter. It's really kind of you, and Ants England. All of you, amazing. Like, you're a really cool community. I love you all so much. Like, I love doing these chats. But the last thing I want to do is bore you. Is there anything? Antimatters is doing 6. I think that means it's time for a duck race. We'll do a duck race in a second then, Antimatters. Thank you very much for that prompt. Is there anything anyone wants to talk about, ask me, or anything before we call it a nighty night? Let's get a duck race underway. That last duck race had some real characters. We don't often get the unicorn duck and the judge duck at the same time. So at the moment, we've got 9 people in the chat. So we're going to put in 10 ducks just in case for a 2-minute duck race. Thanks very much for stopping in, 8 Legs. You're an absolute legend. We'll see you soon. So we have a duck race coming up. Just like that. Duck race. Right, so we have brown bear duck, we have royal duck, panda duck, bat duck, Donald Trump duck, and pink stripy duck. Now, panda bear duck, I don't know who saw the episode with Incredible Inverts the other day. Absolutely amazing, right? But I found out that red pandas are the real pandas, and these black and white ones were named after them. How weird is that? They're the giant panda. So they're a big form of the red pandas. I always, you'd think it was the other way around. All Ants UK, it can be a tricky process. It's basically just who you know. I'm quite lucky because I'm quite well connected from doing the show and stuff. I know quite a lot of people. I was able to get set up with a supplier. Give us a message at some point, and I will. We'll have a chat, buddy. We'll have a chat. Right. Who's ready for this duck race? I'm gonna put my bet on the panda duck strictly because it's a panda duck. Now that's not relevant to who's chosen it or anything. I just like the panda duck. Let's get this race underway. Straight away, panda duck and the plain duck are out in front battling. They're going for it. Plain duck has taken the lead, leaving everyone else in the dust. We have a duck wearing a snorkel. At what point does a duck need a snorkel? That just seems messed up to me. Maybe the bear duck is going to hold the snorkel duck. Let's not go into the dark conversation. It's getting darker and darker. Donald Trump literally looks like he's going to win. If Donald Trump wins, I don't know what I'm going to do. It can't be good for the world. I was just reading that chat. That's brilliant. Pink's a bit girly. I am a girl. Brilliant. Brilliant. Number 8 has taken the lead. Now, a panda bear and a brown bear. You know that would be a nasty fight. Oh, panda bears drop right back. Everyone's sort of slowing. Panda bear gone. Panda duck. And Donald Trump took it. That's messed up. Donald Trump duck took the win. What a surprise. What a shocking surprise. Well, I think we're going to call it a night there. Thank you very much for joining us for another Picnic Table Chat show. Again, this was episode number 9 with our guest, Ants Holleufer. He was absolutely brilliant to come on the show, giving us his wisdom, and it was just a great fun interview. So, as always, don't forget to sign on for the next episode. We have some amazing other guests coming up over the next month or two, whatever. We've got loads of great guests coming up. And like I said earlier, if you know of anyone you want to get on the show, if your friends might be interested in the show, give them a little nudge, send them the link, tell them to give me a message, and we'll get them on the show. Pretty much everyone has a voice here. You know, I'm very open to allowing pretty much anyone on the show, as long as we don't get political and don't get offensive. Happy. I love you all so much. You're all absolutely brilliant. Thank you for all the 500 subscribers. Thank you for signing on and watching me all the time, because I just chat rubbish most of the time and you put up with it. So I love you so much. You're all absolutely awesome. Massive thank you to my Patreon supporters. We've got Kevin, we've got Jason, we've got Katrina. And don't forget a massive thank you to the sponsors of the show as well. Ants Are Us. You're absolute legend for supporting the show and helping us grow and improve the stuff going on behind the scenes. I think that's pretty much everything I've covered. Message me if you want me. I'll be on Messenger, Discord, Twitter, Twitch. I'm everywhere. You know how to get at me. Lots of love, everyone. So as always from me, I'll see you again soon, Ant fans. Thank you for coming.